The fight against brain tumors could soon be reaching a new frontier. This has given a classification of breakthrough designation to a device that could actually convince the brain to rid itself of tumors. Think about that. A device that convinces the brain to rid itself of tumors. RT's Rachel Blevins is joining me now to discuss the details of this. So, you know what this sounds like, Rachel? It sounds a little bit science fiction-y and a little bit almost too good to be true. What are we talking about here? What is this?
Well, so this device, scientists are calling it the tumor monorail. And it's really incredible because what it does is it's this tiny little device that you insert into your brain, and it actually tricks particles of the tumor to leave the brain all on their own.
Right.
And it does this because it's created using nanofibers that are a lot like the material in your brain. So the tumor thinks that it's spreading through the brain, but it's actually going onto this device, and then once it's outside of the brain, it goes into this container where there are chemicals in there that then kill the parts of the tumor.
Oh my, fascinating technology. Now, wow, I'm thinking through this and kind of visualizing what you just described. So they're able to implant something right inside the brain, and they put it next to or near the tumor, and somehow it communicates this message with the tumor. Now, I have to ask, is that a laparoscopic procedure? How do they get it in there, and what does it look like? Because it's not a medicine, right?
Right. So it is so far like it's an actual procedure where they go in, and we've got some footage so that viewers can see kind of what the mock-up looks like on this, or what it would look like. So far, they've only tested it on lab rats, and they started it out at Georgia Tech and Emory University. And so they're hoping to do more tests. What's really cool is that the Food and Drug Administration has given them this breakthrough classification, which essentially says that they see this procedure as something that is extremely valuable and that would help with life-threatening illnesses. So it's not exactly a green light just yet, but it could speed up the regulatory process to get the device actually FDA approved.
Although, you know, it's funny, but with something like this that shows so much incredible promise, right? Boy, you would think that there would be something they can do if there are actually people who are suffering from that right now. Could they, like, sign a waiver or something that says, look, I know it's dangerous, but I've got a brain tumor. I'm willing to do this right now.
Right, that's a good question. In some of these cases, you do see cases where patients that have been labeled as untreatable are able to try some of these different devices and some of these methods. And like we talked about earlier this week, there was another method to going into cancer tumors and actually using toxic chemicals inside of antibodies and going into that tumor and then killing it from the inside. So we're seeing a lot of new technology that really sees these tumors, recognizes their intelligence, and then acts accordingly to try to kill them.
That's a fascinating story. Hey, as usual, well done. Thank you for bringing us this. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going to want to be clued in on what's going on with something like this. I'm Rick Sanchez. You found us on